Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and esteemed participants, good morning and welcome to the 6th Indian National Academy of Engineers INAE Youth Conclave 2023, hosted by GITAM University, co-hosted by GITAM Technology Enabling Center, and sponsored by INAE. We are truly honored to have you all here today.
The INA Youth Conclave, in collaboration with the Science and Engineering Research Board, SERB, travels to different prestigious institutes across India each year. This year's theme, Innovation and Technology for Global Challenges, sets the stage for an inspiring gathering of engineers dedicated to addressing some of the most pressing global issues through innovation and technology.
Our primary objective is to provide a platform for engineers to articulate their ideas and showcase their creative problem-solving abilities, thus contributing to the advancement of society as a whole. This conclave serves as an excellent opportunity for students to connect with INA fellows and accomplished professionals who have left an indelible mark on engineering research and development, industry, and education. Our sincere gratitude to our sponsors, INAE, SERB, and GITAM University. The focus areas for this year's conclave span a wide spectrum of vital topics, including AI in healthcare, space and robotics, green energy, circular manufacturing, smart city and urban planning, biomedical engineering and devices.
In addition to these enlightening discussions, we offer a plethora of opportunities for active participation and knowledge sharing through the following events: poster presentations, ideathons, and model and project exhibitions by the students. We also have startup showcases, keynote speeches, and masterclasses by industrialists and stalwarts of the industry. We believe these activities will not only foster intellectual growth, but also inspire innovative thinking that can change the world for the better.
As we embark on this remarkable journey of discovery, innovation, and collaboration, we encourage each and every one of you to participate, engage in discussions, and make the most of the networking connections presented during the Youth Conclave. Together, we can ignite the spark of innovation and drive change on a global scale.
Once again, we extend a warm welcome to all our guests and participants and wish you a productive and insightful Youth Conclave 2023. Let's make these 2 days of the Youth Conclave a celebration of innovation, learning, and inspiration. Thank you for your presence and continued support. Please join us in extending a warm welcome to Professor K. Nagendra Prasad, Director, GITAM School of Technology, as he graces the dais. I would now like to request Professor Gautama Rao, Pro Vice Chancellor, GITAM Deemed to be University, to grace the dais.
We request Professor Dayananda Siddhavatam, Vice Chancellor, GITAM, to grace the dais.
We would now like to request Shri M. Bharadwaj, Secretary, GITAM Deemed to be University, to join us on the dais. It's a privilege to introduce Professor Indraneel Manna, President, INAE, Vice Chancellor, BIT Mesra, Ranchi, who will join us online.
With great pleasure, we invite Professor K.N. Satyanarayana, Director, IIT Tirupati, to come to the dais.
We would like to extend a warmest welcome to our chief guest, Shri Atul Bhatt, Chairman and Managing Director, RINL, Visakhapatnam Steel Plant, who will now join us on the dais. I would like to request everyone to rise for the national song.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam, Sufalam, Malayaj Sheetalam, Shasya Shamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Shubhra Pulakitayamini Pullakusumita Drumadala Shobhini Suhasini Sumadhura Bhashini Sukhadam Varadam Mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram.
Thank you, everyone.
The ceremonial lighting of the lamp or diya holds profound significance in many cultures, symbolizing the triumph of light over darkness, knowledge over ignorance, and the commencement of auspicious occasions. It is a timeless tradition that represents the pursuit of enlightenment and the dispelling of ignorance, marking the beginning of events with purity and positivity.
We would like to request the guests on the stage to light the lamp.
I would now like to call upon Professor K. Nagendra Prasad, Director, GITAM School of Technology, to address the gathering.
Distinguished Vice Chancellor and President of today's INAE Youth Conclave, Professor Dayanand Siddhavatam, the Chief Guest, Sri Atul Bhatt, distinguished guest, Professor Indraneel Manna, the President INAE, the guest of honor, Professor K.N. Satyanarayana, Director IIT Tirupati, our special guest and highly admired Sri M. Sri Bharat in absentia, the President of GITAM University, Pro Vice Chancellors, the Secretary, GITAM University, Bharadwaj Sir, of all the three campuses, the Registrar of GITAM University, the respected Deans, Associate Deans of various schools, my colleague HOAs, the Directors, Associate Directors, Assistant Directors of all schools, heads of the departments, student friends, and other distinguished invitees, respected media and press personnel. A very good morning to all of you. I wholeheartedly welcome you to this 6th IANE SERB Youth Conclave. Some time ago, somebody asked me what is the speciality of GITAM. I said, it has Gita, it has got Om, it is GITAM. We teach both concepts and culture, both at GITAM University. Usually, Indian National Academy of Engineering accords permission to premier institutions. Since we have done significant contributions, GITAM University, in terms of research, in terms of teaching, in terms of consultation, in terms of extension activity. And our Indian National Academy of Engineering has given permission for GITAM University to organize this Youth Conclave. I am very happy to tell you that the participants have come from 13 states and 2 union territories. That is a very, very significant response that we received at a very short notice. And more than 55% are males and 45% are females. Almost they are equal in number. That is once again a significant feature of this particular conclave. Only women teams are there, about 25 plus. And applications are 45% from Tamil Nadu and 30% from Andhra Pradesh and remaining 25% from rest of the states. And it has been very, very tremendous response considering the fact that the announcement of this conclave was made about less than a month ago. I would like to call upon all the students who gathered here from across the states that we have galaxy of experts here. Usually not possible to meet such people from different walks of life who have made significant contributions in their chosen fields. They have come here to interact with you. And all of you from different cultures, different states, from different backgrounds, you have come here and then try to, that is a wonderful experience for any student in order to understand the mutual existence, coexistence, and how to understand the other culture. It's a wonderful experience otherwise, apart from gaining a lot of technical knowledge. All of you please interact with our distinguished guests because it's a rare opportunity. After the lecture is over, you try to interact with them and try to get your doubts settled, and that's how actually we can give a lot of satisfaction to the speakers who are interacting with you. And I'm very, very happy that this particular, the entire hall is full, more than 550 delegates are there. Behind this, Raja Papu sir, please, would you please stand up? Let us give big applause to Raja Papu. And Professor Srinivas, Mechanical Engineering, and there is a whole team of people worked, and they were the persons behind this kind of huge success. I once again welcome all of you and try to get maximum benefit out of this Youth Conclave. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words.
I now request Professor Gautama Rao, Pro Vice Chancellor, GITAM Deemed to be University, to address the gathering.
Distinguished guests on the dais, visiting professors from various premier institutes, my colleagues, both teaching and non-teaching, student friends from other universities, other states, last but not the least, GITAMites. It's always a pleasure to be part of functions of this nature. When Raja Papu, the organizer, told me about this, my heart was filled with joy. We are getting another opportunity to interact with many young minds, particular engineering. I don't know how many of you are from science background. Can you kindly raise your hands, or is it 100% engineering students? Anyone from science, please? Okay, great. Because this is a joint program of Indian National Academy of Engineering and Science and Engineering Research Board. Science and engineering, they always go hand in hand. They are inextricably interwoven. You can't separate. They are like, I can't say wife and husband these days due to the high incidence of divorces, but usually science and engineering, they are inseparable. No wonder we have a combination of scientists and would-be engineers here. This particular Youth Conclave provides a platform for all of you, the budding engineers, the great scientists in the making, to interact with people with proven track record in academia, in R&D, and in industry. So I wish I could turn the clock back at least by some 45 years so that I could be on the other side as well. Being a non-engineering, non-science graduate, I'm very jealous of you. You are getting a wonderful opportunity to interact and rub shoulders with these great names, both on the and off the dais. And I'm positive that scientists and engineers working together, you can provide solutions to the society in which we all operate. I know scientists say we only have the knowledge, but engineers say we apply that knowledge to come up with solutions the world is facing. In fact, while reading about INAAE, I found that engineers have a pivotal role to play in nation building. I would say you have a role to play in world building, not just only India, because our engineers, wherever you go to, whether it is the Western Europe or US or Australia or Far East, wherever you go to, you always find Indian engineers, Indian professionals shining like stars. So you have, unfortunately, that responsibility of keeping the Indian flag high. So are you all ready for that challenge? Hello? Hello? Can you give me the assurance you are there to keep up that reputation India has been enjoying all these years? Are you likely to be the torch bearers? Easier said than done. So my dear student friends, take this opportunity and make a new beginning if you haven't started your journey as a would-be engineer, would-be scientist that can change the fortunes of the, not just any one country, but the entire world. The whole world is looking at you as the future, let's say, providers of solutions to the society, be it sustainable energy, be it digitalization, be it biomedical engineering and devices. Everyone is looking at you to come up with solutions that make everyone smile. With these few words, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity, and to all of you for giving a patient hearing, and I hope and pray that you got the message loud and clear. You need to play a very, very significant role in the years to come. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your remarkable words.
I would now like to request Professor Dayananda Siddhavatam Garu, Vice Chancellor, GITAM, to address the gathering.
Very good morning to you all, dignitaries on the dais, Professor Satyanarayana Garu, Director, Indian Institute of Technology, Mr. Bhatt, Managing Director, Steel, Vizag Steel Plant, the jewel of Vizag and Andhra Pradesh. Gautam Rao Garu, Secretary, and Prasad, and many distinguished technocrats, student friends who came all the way from different parts of the country to participate in the Youth Conclave. At the outset, I would like to congratulate the organizers, especially Professor Raja Pappu, for taking all the efforts in bringing people to this conclave and making it as a great success. Collaborations between science and technology are essential to revolutionize any existing things. I wish to share very small scientific discovery that has revolutionized the biomedical sciences. Way back in 1976, the biggest puzzle is to actually decipher the sequence of human genome or any gene. Sanger, a chemist, he collaborated with analytical chemists and discovered the analytical tool that can really separate polynucleotide which are differing just with one base. That is actually the key point for discovering the DNA sequencing. And his chain termination method and analyzing the nucleotides generated gave first sequence, gene sequence, which won him Nobel Prize, not for one time, twice. One for getting the DNA sequencing, another for sequencing the protein. And in those days, youngsters like, I was young at that point of time, like you sitting in the audience, cloning a gene and sequencing was my dream. And we went outside the country to learn the technique, and we successfully sequenced. And even if you spend one full week, the amount of sequence that you generated will be 250 base pairs. Please take it, 250 base pairs. Assume that humans have 300 million base pairs DNA in haploid cells. I was very, contented for deciphering one gene sequence in 1.5 years of my postdoc stint. But after that, I learned in several seminars how engineers collaborated with technocrats and automated the whole sequencing process. A chemist who was working on fluorescent nucleotides joined the biologist, and a physicist who was working on laser lights joined the team, and a computational scientist who actually can differentiate the colors emitted by the lasers and then code and give the code name for the bases, all joined. The entire sequencing process, otherwise laborious, became atomized. And the entire human genome project became reality 5 years ahead of the time. I thought that everything is discovered as far as DNA sequencing is concerned. And you name any organism that can be sequenced in a week, and you can get the complete genome profile, expression profile, and protein sequences, everything. And for a biologist, it is unimaginable. And the marriage between the technocrats and the basic scientists, and that too who worked in physics and chemistry, they actually contributed immensely for the advancement of biology. And if you again look into details, I must tell you one more thing. I thought that after automation of sequencing, there is no more to work on DNA sequencing. Ion torrent came, and now I am telling you, the second generation sequencing techniques, number of them, they are available. And if you give your drop of blood within a day, the entire sequence of your genome is available. And that has led to the development of personalized medicine. And all these are possible because of the collaboration between the sciences and engineering. Often I must tell you, people think that these are two separate entities. They can exist as separate entity, but if you separately stay away without collaborating, you will be going in one direction, technocrats will be going in another direction. There won't be any meaningful solutions for the complex problems that society is facing today. I am really glad that you guys are coming together, youngsters, and gave us an opportunity to organize 6th Youth Enclave here in GITAM. And 2-day deliberation, I am sure, is going to ignite the young minds, and I am sure you will go with the enrichment of your understanding on several technology and scientific aspects. With these few words, I really thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity, and I also thank on behalf of GITAM for all the dignitaries who came from all over the country to participate in the meeting in GITAM. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words.
It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today to introduce a remarkable individual whose contributions to the world of academia and research are nothing short of extraordinary. Professor Indraneel Manna, a distinguished guest of honor, is a name synonymous with excellence in metallurgical and materials engineering.
Professor Manna currently serves as the president of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, INAE, and holds the esteemed position of Vice Chancellor at the Birla Institute of Technology in Ranchi. His career has been marked by a deep-seated passion for education and research, a passion that has led to groundbreaking discoveries and invaluable insights to his field.
With expertise spanning across a diverse range of subjects, Professor Manna's research areas include the intricate correlations between microstructure, properties, and parameters in nanometric and amorphous solids, as well as the innovative use of lasers and plasma technologies for surface engineering. His work on kinetic steel and nanofluids has garnered international attention and acclaim.
Throughout his illustrious career, Professor Manna has worn many hats, including that of the director of CSIR, Central Glass and Ceramic Research Institute, and director of IIT Kanpur. His academic journey began with a BE from Calcutta University, followed by an MTech from IIT Kanpur and a PhD from IIT Kharagpur.
Professor Manna's list of accolades and awards is nothing short of impressive. He has been the recipient of the MRSI Distinguished Lecture Prize, the TWAS Prize in Engineering Sciences, and the GD Birla Gold Medal of IIM, among many others. His remarkable work has garnered recognition and respect not only in India, but also on the global stage with fellowships and honors from institutions such as the Alexander von Humboldt Fellowship, DAAD Fellowship, and DAAD Honorary Advisor.
In addition to his academic pursuits, Professor Manna has served as the Vice President and President of Indian Institute of Metals. He currently chairs high-level scientific committees in renowned organizations like DSG, SERB, CSIR, and DRDO, contributing his expertise to shape the future of scientific research.
Today, we have the privilege of hosting a true trailblazer in the world of academia and research. Professor Indraneel Manna's lifelong commitment to education and innovation has left an indelible mark on his field, inspiring countless individuals to pursue knowledge and discovery.
Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to join me in extending a warm and resounding welcome to Professor Indraneel Manna. We eagerly anticipate the enlightening and thought-provoking insights he will share with us today. I would now like to request Professor Manna to give the presidential address online.
Very warm welcome on behalf of the Indian National Academy of Engineering to Professor Satyanarayana, Director IIT Tirupati, Mr. Atul Bhatt, PMD RINL Visakhapatnam, Professor K. Nagendra Prasad, Director of GITAM School of Technology, the other dignitaries seated on the dais and off the dais. I also wish to welcome all those associated with staging the Youth Conclave of Indian National Academy of Engineering. Add that engineering and technology is a very important component for the growth of a society and a country. Indian National Academy of Engineering, the only national academy in engineering in India, was founded in 1987. Since then, we received, to a varying degree, financial support from the Department of Science and Technology. Let me first try and explain as to what is INAE. We draw our strength in three quarters: the industry, academia, and R&D organizations. We cover the entire gamut of engineering, which we address through 10 sections. They're not subject domain specific, but application oriented. We have our strength drawn not only from the country. We have close to about 1,000 very eminent peers in the engineering and technology profession drawn from within the country, and also about 150 or so from abroad. INE throughout the calendar year, celebrates 4 major events and 4 or 5 major events and 3 national days. We begin our calendar with the Foundation Day celebration. As I mentioned, INE was founded in April 20th, 1987. So April 20 is our birthday. And on that Foundation Day, we always organize certain panel discussions or seminars on certain specific themes. For example, last year, we talked about implementation of National Education Policy 2020 for the benefit of the engineering education and profession. And this was addressed by none other than our former president and the chief architect of the NEP 20, Dr. Kasturirangan. Other than him, we had the chairman UGC, the official from Ministry of Education, the chairman AICT, and certain experts from the industry, and several other eminent experts. This year, we also had our Foundation Day on 20th April, and we had the privilege of discussing energy as a theme, and this was addressed by Professor Rangan Banerjee, the director of IIT Delhi, and Dr. V.K. Saraswat, member Niti Aayog. So after the Foundation Day, the next event in our calendar is the National Frontiers of Engineering, alongside also innovations in manufacturing practices. This time it was held in Birla Institute of Technology, Mesra, Ranchi. And typically we hold it in the month of May, June, July in that region. The third event of the calendar year is supposed to be Youth Conclave, but this year for certain unavoidable reasons it got delayed. But we are immensely grateful to the GITAM Institute of Technology to have come forward and volunteered to host it. My grateful reference to the Vice Chancellor and the Director of the Institute, and in particular, Dr. Prasad Raju, our very eminent Fellow of the Academy. So after this, we generally hold the Engineers Conclave. This is also an event where we choose 2 specific thematic areas, one usually proposed by the host institute and the other one by INE itself. And we come up with very actionable recommendations, and present them to the concerned ministry or the departments which are responsible for implementation in those engineering and technology areas. The final calendar event is our annual convention, which is going to be held at the end of the year, usually December middle. And this will be held this time in Bhubaneswar. The three important national days we celebrate are the National Science Day, National Technology Day, and National Engineers Day. And for example, this year, the Engineers Day, we chose a very important and a topical theme on cybersecurity and cyber physical systems. And we drew into the panel experts from academia, from industry, from government policy-making bodies, and of course, certain R&D organizations. So INE primarily tries to identify the top talents at all age groups who are associated with the engineering and technology profession. So we begin at very young stage with the students who are studying in engineering institutions. Then we do the ones who are already in the profession. So we select some of them as young engineers and call them young associates. We try to identify entrepreneurs and recognize their contributions. So with the Entrepreneur and Innovators Award, we also have something very unique called the Kalam Fellowship. This is a fellowship which was created jointly with the Department of Science and Technology, aimed at recognizing the need and the importance of translational research. So in terms of recognition, contribution, financial support, this is exactly equivalent to the famed J.C. Bose award of the PST, but with a difference. This is entirely on translational research and more so on very specific contribution or the promise one is able to show. And in that direction, we actually look at the theme, and then with the particular theme, one has to show already certain exploits, certain evidences of progress made, on the basis of which we award a fellowship for 3 years, and then subsequently we allow another 2 years to complete the research proposal. So INE basically is committed and devoted to promoting the profession for the national goods and national benefit. And for that, we completely, we routinely replenish our knowledge base, we replenish our talent pool. And as I said, we look at the talent pool from the entire age group, something like, let's say, from 18 to 80. So from college-going students all the way to the Lifetime Achievement Awardees. And if anyone just cares to look into the entire list of the fellowship in the country, you would definitely find the entire who's who of the country belonging to industries, academia, and R&D institutions. And we also select some of those who have made a difference from abroad to the engineering profession in this country. We run certain programs on behalf of the Government of India. For example, we have MOU with DST to run the Kalam Fellowship. Similarly, we also have a similar MOU with the Science and Engineering Research Board. And we run 4 programs actually annually: the Women Engineers Program, the Outreach Program for the Northeast, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, those fringe areas of the country. We run a similar initiative on conduct a hackathon to promote the culture of innovation. And we also hold conclaves on Atmanirbhar technologies, technologies which are meant for making India self-reliant. So in addition to this, we actually maintain consultative committees with various government departments: DST, the Principal Scientific Advisor's Office, Indian Space Research Organization, Department of Atomic Energy, CSIR, DRDO, SERB. So this is how we actually make ourselves not only relevant, but a very important partner in promoting the culture and achieving certain milestones in engineering and technology. And we actually wish to continue to do that with even greater level of dedication. But we all are aware that India, if it has one major strength or resource which the entire world envies, that is the demographic dividend. And in order to harness the demographic dividend, the Youth Conclave has a very special importance. So INE has, as I mentioned, certain programs which actually promotes the culture of engineering among the youth. For example, through the INE Young Associates program, the student membership program, we maintain Youth Forum, and Youth Conclave is one such example. We also have the innovations in manufacturing practices as one of the possibilities where the students can showcase their models, not just present paper, but actually show working models. Then in the National Frontiers of Engineering program, we also draw strength primarily from those who are just fresh engineers, very young engineers. And we allow them to present their ideas in very specific topics and themes. So this is how we want to promote. Let me also take pride in saying that INE actually on its own programs which makes a difference to the country's overall the agenda of engineering. For example, during the period March 2021 until August 2022, the country celebrated Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And during this 75-week-long celebration of India's 75th anniversary of independence, INE came out with 3 very specific volumes, one on landmark achievements in engineering and technology in independent India, showcasing the biggest achievements in engineering and technology in the country post-independence era. We also created a volume with which presents before the community 75 individuals, women, who made really big in terms of their career contributions in the engineering and technology profession. This was primarily meant to improve the gender ratio in engineering and technology profession. And also similarly, we created another volume through a very expert exercise on technological preparedness for dealing with national disruptions. So we as an academy, we are not just a peer group to elect the top in the profession, but we also take up programs and define challenges for the country's future, which will make country truly Atmanirbhar or self-reliant, in the words of the Honorable Prime Minister. So I won't take any long. I certainly would like to tender my personal apology for not being able to join in person, but I'm sure the eminent peers who are there on the stage today and the ones who are going to address the Youth Conclave will amply make it a very, very memorable and fruitful event. I also would like to record my deepest gratitude to GITAM University for being a very gracious host and coming forward to organize. And in addition, I must also mention 2 of our vice presidents, Professor Uday Desai and Professor Shivaji Chakravarti, who also have contributed enormously in shaping this entire program. But eventually, I certainly would like to make one last comment here that engineering is all about providing solutions. And INE very soon will emerge in a slightly different setup, slightly not only different, but also in a stronger outfit to be able to contribute even more and more significantly towards the country's growth in engineering and technology. So for that, we need wholehearted participation of the community from all quarters of engineering and technology. I wish that the future only will be much more brighter, and in that direction, INE, along with all those who are engaged in the engineering profession, will make a lasting contribution. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words.
I now request Shri M. Bharadwaj, Secretary, GITAM Deemed to be University, to address the gathering.
I was honestly not prepared to speak. This is a surprise to me as well. So I'd like to thank everyone for on the dais, off the dais, for attending the event, and also to the INAE for giving us the opportunity to host the event here. I'd like to thank everyone, and I hope you guys have a great time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words.
Today, it is my distinct honor to introduce a visionary academician and leader in the field of civil engineering, Dr. Kalidindi N. Satyanarayana. With a career marked by excellence, innovation, and outstanding contributions to academia, Dr. Satyanarayana's presence among us is a truly momentous occasion.
Dr. Kalindi N. Satyanarayana serves as the founder director of the prestigious IIT Tirupati. His journey of academic excellence began with a B.Tech in civil engineering from the esteemed IIT Madras. This was followed by an insatiable pursuit of knowledge that led him to complete his MS and PhD, specializing in construction engineering and management, from the Clemson University in United States.
For over 3 decades, Dr. Satyanarayana has been an integral part of the academic community, serving as a faculty member at IIT Madras since 1991. His teaching, research, and consulting endeavors have been centered around a range of critical areas, including project management, construction contracts, construction productivity, construction equipment, construction and demolition waste management, and public-private partnerships. His extensive contributions to these fields have been documented through numerous publications, and he has guided and mentored several PhD, MS, and MTech theses.
Dr. Satyanarayana's impact extends beyond the classroom and research labs. He has effectively implemented various extramural R&D projects and research-based consultancy initiatives, cementing his position as a thought leader in the domain of civil engineering. During his tenure at IIT Madras, Dr. Satyanarayana has assumed pivotal roles, serving as the advisor, dean of alumni affairs, and chairman of the engineering unit. Currently, he chairs the implementation committee for the IIT Madras Research Park Phase 2, an impressive 1 million square feet facility.
Dr. Satyanarayana's expertise has been sought after in the establishment of new academic institutions, including IIM Tiruchi, IIT Indore, and IIT Jodhpur. His contributions have extended beyond academics, as he has served as the chairman of the Academic Advisory Group of the Project Management Institute, India, and vice chairman of the Board of Advisors of the Glass Academy. He is also an expert member on the Board of Management of Building Materials and Promotion Council, further reflecting his commitment to holistic development.
As a testament to his remarkable contributions to academia, Dr. Satyanarayana has been recognized with numerous academic awards, including the prestigious PMI India Distinguished Scholar Award.
Today, we are privileged to have Dr. Kalidindi N. Satyanarayana among us. His journey is one of dedication, innovation, and transformation in the world of civil engineering and academia.
I request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dayananda Siddhavatam Garu, to facilitate. I now request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dayananda Siddhavatam, to felicitate Professor K. Satyanarayana Garu. Thank you, Professor Gautam Garu, for felicitating Professor Satyanarayana.
Today, we have the distinct honor of introducing a distinguished leader in the world of steel and metallurgy. Engineer Atul Bhatt assumed the charge as the chairman and managing director of RINL Visakhapatnam Steel Plant on the 13th of September 2021. His remarkable journey through the realms of engineering, management, and corporate leadership is a source of inspiration for us all.
Shri Atul Bhatt's academic foundation is solid, having graduated in chemical engineering from the prestigious IIT Delhi in 1986. His pursuit of knowledge did not stop there. As he furthered his education and acquired a postgraduate degree in management from IIM Calcutta in 1989, this formidable blend of technical expertise and management acumen has laid the foundation for a truly remarkable career. Shri Bhatt's journey in the corporate world has been nothing short of exceptional. He previously held the position of chairman and managing director at Micon Limited, where his leadership and vision left an indelible mark. His ability to navigate the complexities of the steel industry and steer organization towards excellence is a testament to his leadership skills. Before his tenure at Micon, Shri Bhatt served as the Executive Director for Business Development and Corporate Planning at NMDC, a position where he played a pivotal role in formulating the Strategic Management Plan 2025 for the company. He was also responsible for all mergers and acquisition activities, demonstrating his expertise in corporate strategy.
Sri Atul Bhatt's global outlook and diverse experiences are really commendable. He has worked with ArcelorMittal, a leading multinational steel and mining corporation, where he served as general manager in mergers and acquisitions based in London, UK. Furthermore, his role as country manager in Iran, based in Tehran, adds a unique international dimension to his illustrious career.
Shri Bhatt's journey in the steel industry began with Tata Steel, where he embarked on a career as a graduate trainee in 1986. His tenure at Tata Steel allowed him to gain a deep understanding of the industry, which laid the foundation for his later accomplishments.
Today, we are privileged to have Sri Atul Bhatt with us. His exemplary leadership, wealth of knowledge, and international experience makes him a true icon in the field of steel and metallurgy.
I request our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Gautam Rao, to felicitate Shri Atul Bhatt.
Thank you to our dignitaries for joining us in felicitating Engineer Atul Bhatt. I request Engineer Atul Bhatt to address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Professor K. Nagen Prasad, Director, GITAM School of Technology. Professor Gautam Rao, Pro VC. Professor Dayanand Siddhavatam, Vice Chancellor. And we also heard Professor Indranil Manna, President INAE. Mr. Bharadwaj, Secretary GITAM. And of course, all the students of GITAM University. I think Professor Nagen Prasad, when he started off, his address, he said, one of the things he said was, what makes GITAM special? And, having visited your campus, I think last time I was here, was for the Technology Enabling Center. And before that, there was a chess competition being held, and I had come and, I saw. So I think what makes GITAM special is all the students, who are here from GITAM. So let's give a big round of applause to all the students and whose wholehearted participation, because I've seen that whenever these programs are organized, large number of students in huge numbers come and participate. So I think I must congratulate both the, the academia and, the students and the professors who once, always organizing such events like the chess competition, and then we had this Technology Enabling Center, and these are some of the events which I have attended. But I'm sure beyond that, a number of events are being organized. So I take great pleasure to be amongst all of you at the inaugural session of this Youth Conclave 2023, and the theme, Innovation and Technology for Global Challenges. I think this is a very appropriate theme, considering what the world economy and the world industry is going through. And of course, the GITAM's association with Indian National Academy of Engineering, we have just seen the remarkable work that they are doing, the Science and Engineering Research Board, and your Technology Enabling Center, co-hosting the event. I think one thing that all of us know is that innovation and technology, it drives the economy and it drives the industry. Being a part of a steel plant now, those of you who may not have seen a steel plant, I'll tell you that steel plant is a microcosm of all sorts of technologies that you can imagine. Steel plant, it has got various components, like, it has a power plant. So all kinds of, engineering which goes into production of power. It has got an extensive gas network. It has, besides, the iron ore smelting is a core, technology. But apart from that, there are various technologies like on water management, waste recycling, energy management, that go into the successful running of a steel plant. So I can really associate, the innovation and technology when it's suitably applied to a steel plant, the kind of remarkable changes and the kind of wealth that can be created. In fact, recently, to leverage the talent of the academia and the talent of the people of this region who are known for their software skills, we have opened a center of excellence. It's called Kalpataru. Now in this, real life problems are being offered. Real life problems to running a steel industry are advertised on the platform, and startups, the AI startups are being asked to come and, suggest solutions to this, to address these problems. And what we have really found is very good innovative solutions have come out. And this activity is 100%, funded from this, this collaborative effort, which involves academia, it involves Software Technology Parks of India, Department of, Science, Department of IT, and of course, the steel plant. So we are all aware of the crucial role that technology plays in driving, driving the economy, in making life simpler and easier and more comfortable for the people around. We heard Professor Dayanand talk about the gene sequencing and the enormous, benefits. We are aware of the stem cell technology. So really, I think GITAM has to be congratulated on choosing such an appropriate topic. And all the focus areas that have been chosen, one is the artificial intelligence. There are huge artificial intelligence and machine learning. It has huge potential, especially when I look at some of these very hazardous operations of the steel plant, where molten metal is coming out of the blast furnace at 1500 degrees. Definitely the need of more robotic solutions to handle that hot metal, and to ensure that whatever heat is coming out is somehow captured and converted into a more usable form. All that. So there are huge, shall we say, applications of this. And then I'm sure that all of you would have heard about green steel. That is the buzzword in the steel industry. In fact, I was just interacting with the director of IIT Tirupati, and he also told me that this is one of the areas that he is thinking of developing in his institute. So I really congratulated him, because this is what the future is. How do you ensure that steel production takes place without affecting the environment? So the green steel, green energy, storage solutions, all these are extremely contemporary topics. And then the circular manufacturing, circular economy. I would say that steel plants are an example of 100% recycling as far as the solid waste management and the water management is concerned. So, all these topics, I think the theme and the focus areas are very much in demand right now. And not just right now, but I think that going into the future, about in the next 2-3 decades, they will continue to be the focus areas. And it is great that, this has been chosen, because these are going to enhance the operational efficiencies and strengthen the capabilities of the organization. We are all aware that industries are very cyclic, and there are ups and downs of business cycles. So one way to strengthen yourself and to enhance your competitive position is to make sure that you come out with innovations that will minimize wastage and maximize energy efficiency. It was also, I went through the, the various activities that you're planning, the poster presentation, the Ideathon, project exhibition, startup showcase. I think these are, very well planned, and these will definitely enable the knowledge sharing, and new innovative ideas will emerge. So events like these will definitely motivate all of you, and to connect with the challenges of the industry. And so I would like to congratulate GITAM for collaborating with INAE and converting and organizing this good event in Andhra Pradesh. So once again, I urge all the participants here to make full use of the ideas that come out, and to make this conclave a big success. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your informative speech.
I would now like to request Professor V. Srinivas, Head of Department Mechanical Engineering, GITAM Deemed to be University, to propose the vote of thanks, which will be followed by the keynote address by Professor K. N. Satyanarayana.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dayanand Siddhavatam Garu, and other dignitaries on the dais, deans, HOIs, HODs, students, participants, I am very grateful to deliver the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to extend my special thanks to our sponsor, INAE and SCRB. We are grateful to Professor Indranil Manna and Professor Shivaji Chakraborty from INAE for their valuable support in organizing this conclave. I express my gratitude to Sri Atul Bhatt, CMD Visakhapatnam Steel Plant, for his esteemed presence, which has elevated the importance of the event. I thank guest of honor Professor K.N. Satyanarayan Garu for accepting our request and guiding us. I would like to thank all speakers and experts who came to this conclave to give presentations and provide invaluable insights to the participants. I would like to thank Dr. Prasad Raj Garu from INAE, who has supported us in all the ways. I thank all student participants who traveled from different parts of the country to make this conclave a grand success. We are deeply grateful for the presence and unwavering support of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, our Secretary Bharadwaj Garu, management, and all engineering leaders in organizing this event. I sincerely thank the organizing committee and student volunteers who have been the backbone of the conclave. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your words.
I would now like to call upon Professor K.N. Satyanarayana, Director, IIT Tirupati, to commence the keynote address.
I was told earlier 30 minutes, but given the... Huh? Yeah, I was told half an hour, but whether if I have to cut short. The President of INAE, Dr. Indranil Manna, the guest of honor today, Sri Atul Bhatt. Okay, yeah. The President of the special guest today, Sri Atul Bhatt. The various dignitaries who are on the stage, off the stage, faculty, students of GITAM, participants in today's and the two-day event here, the Youth Conclave 2023, organized by INAE SERB in association with GITAM. Namaskar. When Dr. Prasad Raju called me some time back saying that this event is happening and he would like me to come for participating in this, once Prasad Raju asks, I can't say no. He's an advisor, our advisor to IIT Tirupati. He comes and every month he comes, advises our colleagues. We're a new institute. As all of you know, IIT Tirupati started in 2015, so we are about 8 years old. And when you're setting up the initial ecosystem for research, and a lot of our colleagues are young colleagues who are starting their careers, so they need guidance on. And many of them have been postdocs or done PhDs abroad and come back. So they need to be guided, and he comes and helps, advises us. So I'm really thankful to him. And when he requested, in spite of my lot of travel that I have happening, I accepted to definitely come here. And more importantly, great opportunity to meet students and coming from different parts of the country. We are having a very lively, vibrant startup ecosystem that's developing in the country. So in that context, I thought it was a great opportunity to come and also, I've also been quite impressed with the progress that GITAM is making as an institution. So I always, whenever there's a campus visit, I use that as an opportunity. We're building our own new campus. So I visit as many campuses as possible to see what they're doing right and what we should also not do. Okay, whenever you do these things, you also learn what is right and what is not to be done. So we take a lot of this feedback. So whenever I go abroad, all over the country, there are a number, especially some of the private institutions are really doing very remarkable job in how they're building their campuses. So thank you very much for hosting me here. Now the theme of this conclave is innovation and technology for global challenges. Right? We have a lot of challenges that all of us are facing, primarily being climate change, impact issues of sustainability, and then we have the socio-cultural, political issues going on, a lot of conflicts that are going across the world, and so on. So in the context of innovation and technology, I thought, and the focus areas that has been identified by INAE along with the organizers, very apt areas. In fact, when I was reading it, when I got it, and again yesterday, I was reviewing it yesterday, it so happens that we are going through our next round of faculty recruitment. So we are looking at which areas should we target our faculty to be recruited. It so happens that in the last 1 week, I've been having intense discussions with my different departments, and some of the areas are almost matching what has been identified for this conclave, whether it is green energy, circular economy, smart cities, urban planning. In fact, we are looking at faculty to hire in urban planning and so on, and biomedical, healthcare, and then manufacture. Of course, manufacture is not here, space and robotics, right? So we were, in fact, looking at many of these areas. So I'm very happy to see that probably what others are thinking, what we are thinking, and these are the trends we are aligned. Now, in the context, and also very glad to see the participation that they managed to get from 13 states to tell you, they said they managed this within a month. But whenever we do these events, I think we need to do longer term planning, get more people involved so that more people benefit from this. A lot of effort goes into organizing these events, and it's good to give that time for people to come prepared. The framework, I thought I was looking at what is the framework within which I should give this talk, and picked up this framework, 6 elements of an innovative ecosystem that has been, Daniel Eisenberg from Harvard Business School, he had come up this 6 framework. I thought you'll use that framework in addressing it in the context of what's happening in India and how we address it. First one is people. So I'll come back to this issue of people because I'm going to use this my central theme of my main discussion. So I'll come back to that. Then the markets, okay? Obviously, India is a huge market. The whole world is interested in India because of its market size. It's the economy stupid, as they call it, and financial, what is it that I'm going to benefit from getting engaged with these various countries? So markets in India but the other thing is, one of the things we keep talking to a lot of startups, and we're also procuring a lot of equipment. As a new institute, all my equipment is brand new. One of the big advantages we have a new institute is that whatever we have in our labs is all the latest stuff, right? Unlike the old institutions which have a lot of legacy equipment to be carried and legacy systems and so on, that's a big advantage we have. And almost 80% of the equipment I'm buying is imported. Okay, at the end of the day, we still don't make many of the basic equipment for testing, for manufacturing. I mean, when I say manufacturing equipment and so on, we import, right? So when we say you need to encourage some of these people who make this equipment here, then they say, what is the market? And if you just look at only the Indian market, it may not be enough. We have to look global. Whatever we are making, we have to be global competitors. Then you have the right economy of scale, because it's at the end of the day, if you have to do pricing, you have to look at the economy of the scale, how much you're able to make. And I think the Indian market by itself, especially at this high-end equipment and so on, you cannot justify just using the Indian market as a basis. Policy. The third is policy. Then there's a big push from the Indian government on the innovation ecosystem. We have so many initiatives that are happening. There are so many national missions, right? We have under the various ministries. For example, There's a national mission on interdisciplinary cyber-physical systems. The NMICPS, where they funded, DST has funded 25 technology innovation hubs across various campuses in the country. And IIT Tirupati also is hosting one of those innovation hubs. And it's a about 3,800 crores initiative. So money is being put in terms of driving some of these initiatives, whether it is the quantum mission, right? That is just been launched. It's been announced. How it's going to be implemented is under discussion. Under the quantum mission, the model under the quantum mission they're looking at is setting up 4 major hubs in the country with the hub and fork model, with many institutions associated with them, whether it is in the area of quantum computing, quantum communication, quantum materials, quantum sensing and metrology, right? And then the whole idea is that we as a country, and last week we hosted about 8 eminent scientists in this area at our institute who came down from National Physical Laboratories, from IISER Pune, Punjab University Vice Chancellor from IISER Mohali. So all these people were there, about 8 of them, Raman Institute, who were major part of the policy setting for this quantum mission. And they all said, we are 20 years behind. Okay, we are 28 years behind on this quantum mission, and we need a lot of catch-up to do. So there's a big push. Anyway, we have woken up and we are giving a big push to the quantum mission. Another 6,000 plus crores is being invested, going to be invested in this quantum mission. Then you have we had the superconducting mission. We had the nanotechnology mission. We have the climate change mission. Now there's a new mission that's going to come up on blue economy and so on, right? We have the semiconductor initiatives that are going on. Once again, as a semiconductor on the front, we have seen the problems with being too dependent on a few countries who are the suppliers, and we need to, US is putting in something like $60 billion to get the semiconductor industry back into their economy. India is also putting a lot of money, a lot of subsidies going on. Micron has got a huge subsidy to set up its plant in Gujarat and so on. So there are various of these policy decisions that are being taken, and the various ecosystem in terms of infrastructure support that's coming up in the country. Again, all these are tied together. I'll come to the infrastructure support part of it. And then the culture that is existing, the entrepreneurship kind of culture, and the innovation culture that needs to be nurtured. Now, there's a big push on this front, and we have one of the most vibrant and lively startup ecosystem that is emerging in the country. But on this issue of culture, specifically in the context of Andhra Pradesh, I have certain observations and certain thoughts that I wanted to share. Is if you want to have a few years back, the previous chief minister of the state had called a meeting of all the vice chancellors and directors in the state. And he said, I want to create a state that is highly innovation oriented. And then I also want to create a state, this happiness index, Ministry of Happiness that some states have started. And I said, I want to create a very happy state. So I had, at that time, made this point, and earlier a couple of speakers talked about between science and technology, the relation, how they're tightly integrated. So I said, if you wanted to create a highly innovation-based ecosystem, it starts with science. Okay, science is where new ideas start, and then we as engineers take it into a product or a service, take it to the market through of course, innovation consists of all this. So unless we have a strong science culture also, it's difficult to have a fundamental level innovation happening. Okay, what I find in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and another statistic that was given to me by the Secretary of School Education, that I understand across the states, across India, the number of students who go for science in their +2 level is something like 35%. In Andhra Pradesh, it's 85%. Okay, 85% go for science at +2 level. But how many of them go to study science in their after that? Almost negligible. So I give the statistics from ISA Tirupati, as a part of the Reorganization Act that was implemented. One of the big advantages the state got is the number of centrally funded institutions that have come in, something like 13, 14 institutions that have come in. IIT and ISER in Tirupati, right? The premier technology institute, the premier science institutes. It's another matter that most people don't know what ISERs are, that they're equivalent to IITs in science. They're as good as IITs in science. So we are lucky that we are the only city in the country that we have both an IIT and ISER. Then you have the Central University in Anantapur, the IIIT in Kurnool, the IIM and Petroleum Institute here in Petroleum Energy Institute here in Vizag, Central Tribal University nearby, and then AIMS in Vijayawada, Mangalgiri, School of Planning and Architecture, National Institute of Design in this area, NIT in Tadipalli, so on. So many institutions have come up, right? In IIT Tirupati, 65% of my undergraduate students are Telugu-speaking students from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana roads. 65%. Well, a lot of students from Andhra Pradesh get into IIT. Across IIT, I did a survey for the ministry. Almost 17 to 18% of the students across all IITs are from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. You go to IIT Guwahati, almost 20% are from Telugu-speaking people. But in ISA Tirupati, less than 5% of the students are from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Being the premier science institute in the country, right? 4 years back, I took the statistics from them. 104 students were admitted. Only 4 are from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. I have an MSc program in IIT Madras, IIT Tirupati. I'm sorry, I'm from IIT Madras, and this is still so much ingrained in me, and my colleagues get irritated that I keep blurting out IIT Madras when I should be telling IIT Tirupati. So anyway, we have an MSc program in math, physics, chemistry. In my maths, about 4 batches have gone out, 3 batches have gone out, and or admitted, 4 batches have been admitted, and in my physics and chemistry, 3 batches are admitted. This year, I got the first student in my MSc program in physics from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. First student after 3 years. Okay, so this culture that I thought I will talk it down as a culture that we should have a very strong science culture also. It's not just enough to have just an engineering-oriented culture. I will come to the issue of, again, engineering is not really engineering. Now it's all computer science thing. That is another thing that I've been talking about. So from a culture point of view, we need to have this thing that we start from fundamentals. Strong conceptual basis. We have to build on that. Today, math is becoming most important. When you're talking about AI, ML, data science, the underlying areas are math, statistics, these areas. They're becoming very important. I was very happy other day, one of my MSc, first batch MSc student came back to see us along with some startup, and she's starting a startup. A math graduate is starting a startup, okay, related to many of these decision-making tools and so on. So there's need to be, while the state has a very strong culture from the perspective of an entrepreneurship kind of this thing, and people only wanting to be very one-dimensional, I would say. And of course, I was also told that he was talking about happiness, and I've also made this point in that meeting that a society that is unidimensional cannot be a wholesome society where you don't nurture your arts, your humanities, your the various cultural aspects and so on. These also need to be studied adequately, need to be researched, need to be addressed, need to be nurtured and so on. Okay, so that's on culture. Then finance, of course. Money has to, for anything to happen, money has to be put in. And there's a lot of initiatives on the national level. We have the Startup India initiative under the DP IIT, where there are a lot of funding opportunities that are opening up. Various ministries are creating these funding opportunities. The government is giving a lot of tax benefits for people who start off on the startup mode. Easier compliance, IP becomes a very big issue. A lot of training programs that are happening, they're fast tracking the issues of IPs and so on. So a lot of these things are being addressed in terms of also the easier public procurement. If you're a startup, you get priority in terms of some discounts, in terms of the requirements for you to meet in number of years experience and so on. And startups is a risky business, right? Almost maybe 10% of the startups really saying. So you need to be having a framework for easily winding up also. So the legal framework for that also is being put in place and so on. So there's a lot of these opportunities, whether it is funding at various levels, and so many different incubators through whom initial seed grants are being provided, accelerators that are being set up, right? So a lot of this ecosystem is getting created very nice way, whether it's at the various universities or whether it is in various centers. Now, this is what we talk about, the infrastructure support that is required. The sixth aspect is the infrastructure support. 2 months back, I was here. Our Shiksha Mantri ji, Honorable HRM, Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan had called a meeting here in Vizag. So I'd come down and use the opportunity to visit the MedTech zone, AMTZ. Very impressed with the kind of facilities they have created here, and I understand GITAM is collaborating strongly with them, doing a joint master's program. Fantastic. And the kinds of facilities I saw was very impressive, that could be easily leveraged in the healthcare medtech area. T-Hub in Hyderabad, T-Hub, T-Works, the kinds of ecosystem they're creating there, they're making a lot of good noise about it. There's a lot of this thing. And when I came and saw the AP's Andhra Pradesh MedTech zone, I said, with all these facilities, why is not enough noise being made about it and awareness being created about it, right? This is 200 plus acres, that is in 7 acres. The kinds of testing facilities that are here, the kind of this thing was very interesting. So these are all the infrastructure supports that need to be provided. Many of the startups need support in terms of test beds, for example. Last week, the Honorable Prime Minister launched the 500 5G test beds across various institutions. My institution happened to be one of them. Was GITAM also one of them, the 500 test beds? There were some 3 or 5, I think 5 institutions in Andhra Pradesh have got these test beds for 5G, where startups can come, use these test beds to work on those platforms. Similarly, we are also at, for example, IIT Tirupati, we are trying to create a lot of this infrastructure that industry can come and use, startups can use for testing, validating, creating digital twins, and so on. So these are all the infrastructure support. And then the people. And I broadly touched on the people aspect. India, and one of the issues that Dr. Indranil Manna also referred to, which I was going to talk about, is we talked about the demographic dividend. He talked about the demographic dividend, which is a big advantage India has, and whether we are able to leverage that opportunity adequately is a big challenge, because skilling is a big challenge in our country, right? We have the highest number of people in the production age, right? We say something like 600 million, 60 crore people or in the age between 18 and 35, and about 65% of the population are under the age of 35. So this is a big opportunity that we have. So do we have a skilled and productive workforce? Now this is a challenge that we have. While we are producing this large number of engineers, are they the right people that the industry is looking at and for this kind of environment? You know, one of the big, you will keep hearing about this NASSCOM reports and other reports saying only 20% of our students are employable, right? Different, or 25%, some of them I've seen even 16%, 17%. Now, what are they talking about? They're saying it's just not enough to have the domain knowledge. You should be able to work in teams. You should have good communication skills, whether written or oral. You should have a leadership kind of outlook. Now, this is some of the things that the industry is looking for. And even for these startups and other things to survive, you need this kind of entrepreneurial and this kind of outlook. Now, this is where we have a big challenge in terms of providing this skill, this thing. And also the culture, again, comes back. I was in discussions with my good friend Jay Chaudhary, who happens to be one of the persons behind the success of Hyderabad as a major IT hub in the early days. And he recently went abroad. He met a number of industry people. You know, he was also former, he's now, you know, pushing startup. He runs an Indian startup festival, which I happened to take part a couple of months back in Bangalore. And the worry is, on one side, we're producing huge number of people, the craze for computer science and engineering related areas, with institutions having a huge number of intake in that area at the cost of core sector. Now, we as a country, we say we still have to build something like 60% of our infrastructure, right? Whether it's ports or airports or roads or water systems, water treatment systems, all these things. 60% they say we still have to build, for which you need civil engineers, you need mechanical engineers, and so on. But students are not joining these streams. There's going to, 2-3 years from now, in my opinion, there's going to be a big upheaval on this front, okay? And then on the other side, we have this generative AI, ChatGPT, all this coming in, and I've been talking to industry people even abroad and people like some of these thought leaders, and they say 50% of these jobs may disappear because most of these people going there are doing routine jobs, and all routine jobs are getting automated. And with these tools and techniques, maybe 3-4 years down the line, we will start seeing the impacts of this thing where many of these jobs are going to just disappear. So there's hordes of people coming with this training. Where will they get employed? And the other side, we want to be a major manufacturing hub of the world, right? A lot of the countries are pulling out their industry from China and relocating them. And they were looking at India as a major place they could locate. Many of them are ending up in Vietnam, though all those countries, and not many have come to India. What is a big challenge? So when a new industry comes in, they look at the enabling environment from the government support, subsidies, government support. That is one aspect. But one of the important things they look at is the manpower availability to run these industries. And they say we don't have enough manpower. Now, Rao Tumala, who is an advisor to Professor Rao Tumala from Georgia Tech, who is an advisor to the Indian Semiconductor Mission, he's going to come and visit us. He's come and visited us earlier, and he is now advising our government on the Indian Summit. He keeps telling everywhere. Everyone thinks the semiconductor industry requires electrical engineers, right? A semiconductor industry, if you want to set it up, requires mostly chemical engineers. 80% of engineers required in a semiconductor factory or a setup are electrical engineers, material science engineers, and chemical engineers, not electrical, sorry. Chemical engineers are the most required, material science engineers, and mechanical engineers. Electrical engineers are more for the design of the chips, design of the electronics, and so on. So that is only 20%. Now, one of the biggest challenges we're going to face in the semiconductor mission is where are the people who can... Now, US is facing this problem, right? And they're having a lot of programs running into this. So these are something that, so there are going to be a lot of opportunities in this area. And we need to look at long term and just not short term. Of course, the problem we have with the core sector is they're not paying. Okay, they're not able to pay. They're either unwilling to pay or they're not able to pay. And but once there's going to be a shortage, huge shortage, there has to be the same. So we need to keep the. So you will see none of the IITs are anywhere diluting their core areas. None of them have. In fact, they're expanding their core areas, and they're because these are absolutely required to run this industry. So this, so all this is required, and there's a lot of things that are happening, and we need to address this in a very balanced way. And unless we do it, we're going to be having a challenge. But at the same time, this is India's and China's century. There's so many opportunities that are there, which we need to grab. And I think a lot of the right things are being done in terms of creating the ecosystem. And my biggest worry is on the manpower front. That's what I thought I should leave the message about. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Yeah.
Be able to take and finally come out as an overall rounded personality who not only has the basic strengths in that particular major in which the student is coming out, but also has a lot of chance to learn other things which are needed for a student to grow as a person who would like to excel in any particular field of their choice. And as many people say, that the knowledge that anybody needs as they grow is like a boltzmann's function. You need to have a peak in the area in which you would like to excel, but you should have a knowledge which never goes to zero in any other field. And that is the kind of growth one would like to have, and our system should be able to enable. This is something that we started seeing having a great influence on the students. Second is also that to see how you allow the students to have a flexibility in moving from one to the other. Okay. For example, we have started an undergraduate program where a student can pick up any courses from any branch of engineering and can come out with a BTech at the end of 4 years after picking up or doing a few mechanical, few electrical, few computer science kind of courses, and then coming out the way he or she wants to mold themselves. This is another very important possibility that we have started enabling, and that is really attracting quite a number of students to pick up this kind of branches which are becoming more popular. The third point, which I also feel, is that there are a lot of innovative ideas in these students many a times, even at the 11th and 12th grade. Many a times the kind of coaching system that we go through, they don't have any choice to work on those innovative ideas at the 11th and 12th level. The moment they come to an IIT system, again, the problem is that they get a branch which possibly they don't want to be in that branch for whatever JEE score that they have got. So as a result, they once again work very hard for about a year to get a very high CGPA and to shift into some other branch. At Hyderabad, we have experimented last 3 days that saying that once you join a branch, you are in that branch, And at the same time, we give you an option to do a double major in any other branch of your choice. So as a result, you don't need to really, struggle in the first year to once again pressurize yourself to get a 9.5 CGPA. So while you remove that pressure, utilize that additional time that you have in exploring the innovative ideas that are there in your mind. We have started something called build projects, bold and unique ideas leading to development. We call it as even a first semester BTech student, if they have a brilliant idea, we give a 1 lakh rupee to begin with. With that, the student can start implementing his or her ideas. And we also say that if you think that your courses are disturbing you to work on that particular dream project of yours so that you focus on that, we say we give you a semester break. Even in the first semester of your BTech, with a 6 credits. So this is something which is really attracting quite a number of students who are able to implement some brilliant thoughts, for which he does not want to wait for 4 years to be completed and then start implementing it. Okay, by the time his thoughts may change or somebody else might work on that. So these are other areas where it is important that we strengthen our students towards working on this dreams that the students have. Can we nurture those dreams? Can we provide sufficient opportunities for them to work on those dreams so that they come up with brilliant startups as they go along and move in a direction where they don't seek jobs, but they create jobs. That's, I think, India should move in that direction where more and more of our students are nurtured to create jobs rather than seek jobs. And that's an ecosystem that I'm sure all of us together should put in such an ecosystem so that India not only becomes Atmanirbhar, but also a global leader in the area of technology development in the next at least 5 years to come. And I'm sure experiments like this in every institution will go a long way by creating the right kind of zeal in the students where they are free to do whatever they want to do. At the same time, they come up with bright ideas which are supported by the institute so that not only the student gets benefited, but the country gets benefited in a long way. I think these are a few thoughts which I thought I will share with you for you to ponder over this, and I'm sure definitely together we can do many more things by working together and implementing such kind of, I think, possibilities which will make the whole education ecosystem joyful rather than stressful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your informative words. And thank you, students, for joining us here today. You can all leave for lunch.